If you're the smartest person in the room and suddenly you don't want to talk anymore, this isn't burnout, it's evolution. And here's the science behind why. Have you noticed it? That growing urge to just stop talking. In a world that treats shouting as a personality trait, you've started finding a strange, almost rebellious comfort in the shadows. You sit at dinner tables, in boardrooms, watching mouths move in their frantic race for the last word, and you feel nothing. Or rather, you feel a profound sense of distance. You used to worry you were losing your edge, becoming cynical, maybe just getting old. But what if your silence isn't decline? What if it's the ultimate sign you've outgrown the game? The English-speaking world is obsessed with presence. If you aren't seen, you don't exist. If you aren't networking, you're failing. But you've reached a stage where you've seen the script. You know how the arguments end before they start. You know that 90% of social interaction is just people performing a version of themselves they think others will like. Psychologically, this is cognitive load theory. As we mature, especially those with higher analytical capacity, the brain ruthlessly prioritizes energy. Research on cognitive resources shows your brain is making a calculated trade. The cost of winning an argument with someone who hasn't done the work exceeds the value of that victory. You realize that explaining your perspective to someone who refuses to listen is like describing color to a person who won't open their eyes. So you choose silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because silence is the only place where you're not being sold something, managed or manipulated. You'll know you're in this shift when specific things happen. You stop feeling FOMO about missing the conversation. You can sit at dinner, watch the performance, and feel relief, not anxiety. You notice you're observing without needing to correct. You leave interactions feeling energy restored, not drained. That's the marker. Relief, not superiority. Clarity, not shame. There's a specific kind of power that comes with being the only one in the room who doesn't need to be heard. When you stop talking, your observational capacity doubles. You start seeing the micro-expressions, the subtle defensive postures. You hear the insecurity behind the loudest person's laugh. You notice the quiet desperation Thoreau wrote about, hidden under expensive suits and strong opinions. Western culture confuses quiet with passive, but in high-level strategy, the quiet person often holds the advantage. Why? Because they're collecting data while everyone else is giving it away. Like a predator watching from the darkness, like ripples spreading across still water, you're seeing patterns everyone else is too busy creating to notice. If you feel like you've become an observer of your own life, don't fear it. You're shifting from being a player in a game that no longer interests you to being the architect who understands the entire board, not just the pieces in front of you, but the game itself, the motivations behind every move, the insecurities driving every play. You've stopped seeking validation from the crowd because you've finally realized the crowd doesn't know where it's going. Now, let's address the fear that by being quiet, you're becoming irrelevant. In our culture, relevance is a trap requiring constant maintenance. It demands you have an opinion on every headline, every trend, every outrage cycle. But here's the distinction that matters. There's a difference between strategic silence and hiding. If your silence comes with relief and clarity, if you're observing with curiosity rather than judgment, if your energy increases rather than depletes, you're evolving. But if your silence comes with shame, isolation, and rumination, that's different. That might be worth exploring with support, because that's not evolution, that's avoidance wearing evolution's mask. Healthy silence restores you. Unhealthy withdrawal drains you. The difference is whether you're moving towards something or running from something. Look at what lasts. Mountains don't scream. Oceans don't ask for likes. Real wisdom has a half-life measured in decades, while noise disappears in hours. By choosing silence, you're practicing something rare, clearing the clutter of other people's expectations to make room for your own truth. Your silence is a boundary. It's a no to the chaos of the modern world. And every time you choose not to engage in a meaningless conflict, you're giving a gift to your nervous system. You're telling your brain, we are safe. We don't need to fight for crumbs of attention anymore. So, the next time you're in a room full of noise and you feel that urge to stay quiet, smile to yourself, because you know a secret they don't. You know that the person who can sit in a room and say nothing is often the only one who's truly free. You haven't lost your voice, you found your filter. And in an age of infinite static, a filter is the most valuable tool a person can own. You're not becoming irrelevant, you're becoming the architect. You're not withdrawing from the game, you're rising above the board to see what everyone else is too busy playing to notice. There's a silent tribe of us, watching, listening, observing from the shadows, waiting for the noise to burn itself out. You're part of it, a growing number of people who've realized that true presence doesn't require performance. If this landed for you, drop a comment with a number. At what age did you first realize the loudest person in the room was usually the most insecure? I read every single one, and sometimes the best conversations happen in the spaces between the words. Stay quiet, stay observant, and remember, the world belongs to those who have mastered the art of listening.